Yep.
Did it?
I'm guessing. Some at the top. I think it's recording. I think we're recording.
We are. I don't know if I can edit that.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're cool.
All right, we'll start talking.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, the first thing we want to talk about is the Enlightenments. I mean, this game, you really have to earn your talents. You have to earn what you have, right?
Yeah. I think, we were talking about gaming and how long we've been working on this game. We've been at this for almost 2 years now. I'm sure a lot of you guys wondered where I went and whether I was under a rock. But truthfully, we were talking about making a game that had good action economy for the players, speed, and something new that they basically had not seen before. In all the games that are out there, I've played pretty much everything at one point in time. I love role-playing. I've been playing it for 5 decades. But what's important always has been the same as the stories and everything else. But what bogs the game down the most are always the rules. So, I played with Matt Colville and his group, and they only play D&D, which drove me crazy because to me, I loved Fantasy Trip. I loved the way that it didn't fit into a requirement of your character's advance based upon what you were. You made them up and you designed them the way you wanted. Steve liked that idea when we were discussing it. By the way, this is Steve Key, my partner in crime here at Writing Enlightened. He does all the hard work. I just basically come up and pontificate all kinds of stuff, and he then cleans it up and makes it work out. But the thing we wanted was that action economy. The fact that we didn't want the game to take 4 hours. We wanted to be able to make it quicker, and we didn't want the DM to be 65% of the game, where basically everybody makes a die roll and then it rolls around, and then the DM spends the next 20 minutes making all of his monster movements and attacks and die rolls and determines everything. Oh, I critical you died. And that just seemed like a problem, so we wanted that to change. The other thing we didn't like was the fact that you would go down nearly dead, be 2 seconds away from dying, somebody would staunch your wound, and you get up, and then you take a long rest, and you're suddenly fully healthy again, immediately. And it was like, that made no sense. So in our game, your wounds, when you get healed, are not a guarantee. Might heal some of them, might heal others, but the ones that don't heal are reduced permanently until you're able to take an off season, which is a 3-month period of time that we made up, where basically you rest and recoup. And during that rest and recoup, you learn things and build up stuff. And some of those things were like the Enlightenments we talked about. So Steve can mention some of that to you.
Yeah, the Enlightened. So in this game, you don't get to level 2, open the book, pick a bunch of things you want to do. You actually have to earn it. So when you roll 2 9s, and in some cases 3 9s, what we call is you're enlightened. Then whatever it is you just succeeded at with a maximum roll, you write a note on the back of your character sheet, and that becomes something that is a talent that only you have earned. So it could be, you could create something, hey, this dragon is sweeping his tail, I'm going to jump the tail. Well, you roll 2 9s, you get to create a custom talent based on what you just did.
And that's what we wanted. We wanted our ability so that the characters advanced not by a predetermined pathway in the game book. I mean, I see that so much in the role-playing where people just basically find the ultimate combination of you pick this spell, you take this ability, you take this situation, you make your statistics exactly this amount. Statistics are easy. We do them very simply. We just have 3 stats. You advance them through the points that we give out as experience. And when you get to a point, you can add a talent, or you can add a skill, or you can move up one of your skill stats, one of your die numbers, your strength, your agility, or your intellect. And those are sort of the 3 factors that were used in the game. You don't need a bunch of them. You didn't need to have a whole lot of things. We tried to keep it as simple as we can, as, and sort of an homage to other games in the past, but even what you find that works successfully. The character decision should be made how the players run the characters and design the characters. But in this, they're not even sure, because you never know how you're going to enlighten. And if you do an enlightenment on something like Steve meant with the Dragon Leap, and you end up with a skill called Jump Rope, or it's a situation where your mage casts a spell and you get a double 9, so now he increases his knowledge and ability in that spell, so he can modify it accordingly. Or the cleric does something with an ability and he gets to deal with the deity and he gets an enlightenment. Now the enlightenment allows him to have an easier time maybe reaching for special abilities from his deity. This is all determined by you and the game master. So you get down and say, I think this is what happened, and this is what I want to do. So the game becomes unique unto itself. Your characters are totally different from that point of view. They're not just something in a book that you pick and choose as you level up. You're going to advance them, and levels really just are a reference of how old you're becoming or how many off seasons you've taken, and that's how we sort of register the characters, how old they are by how many off seasons, 3-month periods of time. So in adventuring, you might adventure 6 adventures, 7 adventures, but at some point you're just too beat up. You don't have enough hit points left because you've had so many non-healing events that you just need to take that off season. And when you off season, all your wounds come back, and then you can level and accumulate the benefits from that. So a lot of times, you might run 1 adventure, 2 adventures, and then say, man, we're just beat to crud. We need an off season. We take it, we all advance, we do what we're going to do. Sometimes you keep pushing it, because the problem with off seasons is when you take an off season, 3 months has passed, and the world can change depending on how evil your game master is. And fortuitously, you guys don't know any evil game masters like we do, but it's something that you can do. So we kind of wanted to let you know what we're going to be doing, and now we're going to start doing other videos on showing you how you build a character from the beginning and how it operates in the fighting, and then how you generate monsters. And then hopefully what the whole future is going to be is constantly showing you live adventures with people, getting abilities that you can, if you have the Enlightened rules, you can download our adventures and bestiaries and magical things. So all of it can be accumulated adventure that you can utilize or modify for your own taste, which is what I always prefer. You want to add something else?
If you off season too early, like Jim mentioned, things in the world happen. So you can put your own spin on that, because it's a custom game to say, we want all our health back, so let's have an off season. Well, you really haven't taken care of the problems that are going on around your village, but you can. So they take an off season early, they come back, and boom, there's more problems to deal with.
Yeah, the goblins have suddenly doubled or tripled in size, and now they're parked outside your city saying, we want your share of the farming.
That's
or
right.
something else will happen. And then you have a diplomatic solution, maybe, or not. And that is the whole concept of role-playing, is that what you think is going to happen isn't just written in a book, so everybody says, oh, did you play this module or that module? There's no modules. The whole thing is for the game master to develop a campaign that is unique in an environment that you're going to want to play in. So every week, it's different than you expected, and it's not going to be new, and really in a whole way, it's curated just for you. So often you're going to play an adventure that no one's ever going to play again. We've seen our adventure in our little camp that was founded by our starting group and everything else run multiple times, and it advances and collapses and gets better and gets risked, and giants suddenly attack it and crush it, all based upon the decisions that the players made and how the DMs, or in our case, multiple DMs, make that decision. And it makes it a lot of fun, and it makes it good. And like a lot of people who've talked about, and you've heard me talk about the gaming, it's totally unique to you and your friends. It's going to be totally unique to the people, the group that you play with. And they're going to modify it in ways you're never going to expect. And they're going to modify the rules in ways you're never going to expect. Yeah. But that's the fun of the game. So we're going to get back to this. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put this up so you can get us started and understand what we're going to be doing. We also see what we're going to be planning at least once a month down here in Southern California, if you guys are here, to come on down to our place here in beautiful Garden Grove next to Disneyland, well, kind of distantly next to Disneyland, and play with us, and we'll get you into the game. But in the meantime, we'll be putting up what we're doing as we're getting it going. And if you guys download the rules on itch.io, Enlightened, you'll be able to see what we're doing and learn to grow the game. We appreciate it. I apologize for the people who were really looking and supported us when we did the Kickstart. But the biggest problem we found with our Kickstart is how much money we're going to lose if it actually happened, because shipping now is so expensive. We had guys from Norway saying, how much is it going to cost to ship us to Norway? And I'm like, we had to put the price in, and we had to put shipping costs into it, and that made it, unfortunately, unaffordable for most people to get. And, I understand nobody wants to check out a pig in a poke without having to see it, but we were looking at a situation that we were praying to break even if we actually hit the number. Fortunately, we didn't, so we never got to find out that. But now we're made a PDF that you can get on itch, and allowing you to learn the game. Anyway, I've pontificated way too much on this video, so I'm going to close it out unless you have something you want to add.
The only thing I want to add was we've been playtesting for about 2 years, and one of the things that I'm real excited about is the action economy. So, like Jim mentioned, 65-80% of the action tends to be with the game master, and now things are spinning around the table, and I have my players saying, "I'm up already. I'm up again. I'm up already." So they're getting more action, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I agree.